Hi, I'm Alan R, and this is Motor Matters, your favorite channel for everything motoring in South Africa. Now, before we talk the car we're looking at today, let's talk changecars.co.za. That is the website where you can find your next car with total peace of mind, because they only list cars from franchise dealers. And once you've found that car, click on the button that says Discover Insure, and you can organize your insurance as well. That's changecars.co.za. It's been quite a while since we've tested the Isuzu D-Max buckies in South Africa, now proudly built in South Africa as well, which is fairly recent. But we finally got our hands on one. I was hoping for the double cab version, but instead we got the extended cab, which is the cab and a half as many people would call it. It's a pretty handsome beast. Right from the start, you'll know it's rugged, it's tough, and that's what all the loyal Isuzu buyers have always wanted from their buckies. And that's why there is such a loyal bunch of buyers for the Isuzus. You can see the front is bold. You've got this chrome over here. You've got daytime running lights nowadays that you've got to have on every vehicle. You come around the side. It's got a pretty bold stance, good clearance on the axle over here, on the wheel arches, because this is the 4x4 version as well, and that's important to take note. You can of course get 4x2 and 4x4 as you'd expect in this market. Good 18-inch wheels over here. They stand out. They look pretty neat as well. It's features like that that you want. Now this is LSE spec, which is the top spec available in extended cab. So you do get features like keyless entry and push button start. You know, the thing about buckies these days is so many of them are built as leisure vehicles and lifestyle vehicles. And the question is, where are you? What are you looking for? What are your requirements? Of course, extended cab means you simply pop open the back door like that, and you can see you've got load space in the rear, plenty of it for your equipment, for your tools, for anything else like that. And you've got little pop-up sections over there where your tools go, things like that. So it's convenient, it's neat. Certainly beats a single cab where do you even put a single overnight bag if you're traveling? And I've had that issue with a number of single cabs before. Useful for me, I must say, is just the relationship between the heights, where the running board is, where you jump in. I found this one actually easier to get in and out of than some of the others. It just depends obviously on your height, your size, and the relationship where these things fit in. So just a tiny little point. Come back over here. Of course, now again I've mentioned it's the top spec version, so you get a very substantial sport bar over here. We've got a Tonneau cover on the back, and I'm not going to take the Tonneau off, but you drop down and you've got a pretty substantial load buck over there. These are all things you expect. Take a good ton nice and easily. What you want to see is that, because this is powered by Isuzu's 3-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel. Been around for a long time, but it's a motor with a great reputation. 140 kilowatts, 450 newton meters of torque, and it drives all 4 wheels through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Let's see it on the road. Let's jump inside. It's been quite a while since I've driven a D-Max, so I have to remember what the previous generation was like. This obviously being the new generation that was launched in South Africa and built in South Africa now, which is a good factor, isn't it? It's the 3-litre diesel, and I think hopefully you can hear it is quite a noisy diesel, especially when it's colder and when you're sort of around town. But 140 kilowatts, 450 newton meters, it's in the ballpark. It's the same kind of numbers as you're getting from most of the competition. But I think maybe Isuzu, it's time for a new generation, because we know who I'm talking about, have lifted the game so much that in sheer comfort and smoothness, there's a little bit of a gap now. But having said that, the farmers love the Isuzus for the very simple reason that this engine will give you 500,000 plus Ks with no effort whatsoever. And that's so important. Now, this version we're in now is the 4x4 version, and you've got a simple little twist knob over there that you can get it to. We're obviously in 2 high. You can go to 4 high, 4 low. Easy, nice big touch screen, but it has got minimal functionality. Let me put it that way. It's on home now, but it does the job. But the biggest thing I want you to see is that 3-liter 4-cylinder, as I said, 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox, and we're leaving Hearties just for a change. So let's see how it handles the uphill we're about to hit. The normal one that I'll try and show you quite often in my videos, that you can see exactly what it's going to do going up this hill. Now remember, the figures I gave you means it can lug. It's a lugger of an engine, that I would like to put it. We're showing 10.7 kilometers per liter, so about 9 and a bit, just under 9.5 liters per 100, which is exactly where you expect to be with this vehicle. Now, if people would only move over out of the right-hand lane occasionally when someone comes up behind them, it would certainly make life easier for me to show you exactly what it's like going up this hill. And you can see, not bad at all. It's pulling, I'm still accelerating, which is exactly what you're looking for when you're in a vehicle of any sort. I haven't put any load on the back, so don't ask me about that, but the bucky's pretty big. There's a tonneau on the back. It certainly fits the bill of an extended cab. You know what, at the end of the day, you're going to have to drive them and choose for yourself. Jumping in behind the wheel as always, let's have a look at the pertinent figures. Well, we've done 483 kilometers on this test, showing 10.8 liters per 100. Well, that's not bad, is it? Just over 9 liters per 100. I've got no complaints about that. And there's still, well, about a third of a tank left. 80 odd liter tank. Quite happy with that. You come down to this multifunction steering wheel, and you'll see we do have cruise control. It's not active, but you've got cruise control. You've got your other controls over there. It's all exactly what you expect and exactly what you would know you're going to get from your bucky, which is not quite a workhorse. It's a little bit above a workhorse, but it certainly is in some ways basic and in some ways not. Interesting extra storage space over there for sunglasses or for other little things, just on top of the dash. And you've got almost a soft feel on top of the dash, which is, again, a little bit at odds with the vehicle overall. But I'm being very, very picky here. You've got a nice big screen over here, but I must tell you, it doesn't give all the functionality I would expect from a screen of the sort. And, well, how do I put it? That maybe it doesn't have everything I would expect from it, but it's there, etc. And you can use Android Auto or something like that, because you have got USBs down at the bottom. We won't worry about those. There is a good spot for your phone. Of course, a massive plus in these days is you've got proper buttons, push buttons for the entire aircon system and things like that, which again are very, very important. Your 6-speed automatic gearbox, your good old-fashioned straight up, down, whatever you want to call it, it works nicely. And just, it's smooth, it's comfortable. You feel the shifts every now and then, but it's not a problem at all. What is very, very important is over here on this one, is your simple twist knob for 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. Easy, comfortable, no problem whatsoever. Over here, you've got a diff lock button if you want for the rear diff lock, and you do have hill descent control over there as well. So all those features are there that you'd expect if you're going to use 4x4. Be honest with you, didn't do any of that on this test. You know how it goes. I either get the time or I don't. Simple as that. The thing about the Isuzu I mentioned at the beginning of the video is there's a reason why that this is the 3rd biggest selling bucky in South Africa, after the Hilux and the Ranger. And I mentioned those two very deliberately. and very clearly. Farmers love them, agricultural side love them, industry love them, because you know this engine will still be going in 10 years' time, obviously if it's properly maintained and not abused. But they're tough, they know they will last, they will keep going. I'm sure you can hear the idle right now. It is a bit agricultural sounding. But I have to tell you, when we took it out on the open road, it certainly smoothed out nicely. The ride, especially in urban conditions, to me, well, I mentioned the two competitors just now, and I have to tell you, they are much newer. They're especially, of course, the Ranger. And they have definitely upped the game in terms of ride comfort, and especially unladen without a heavy load on the back. That's something you'll have to experience for yourself and then make decisions. I don't want to call it for you. But this one, as it is, 706,000 Rand. The Ranger version comes in at 690, the equivalent, with a little bit more power and the 10-speed automatic transmission. But up to you to choose in that respect. I can't comment. You need to drive them, or you need to be loyal to one brand or the other, as most people are. The Toyota version, obviously, spec is never going to be exactly the same, comes in at 730. Another thing you could do is, if you're not going to require 4x4, just don't take that. Take the 4x2 version and you'll save about 100,000 Rand. That's a lot if you don't need the 4x4 hardware. Those are questions only you can answer. Something else that has stood out to me and just noticed, but may or may not be important to you, is the opposition would give you leather trim on the seats. You've got cloth over here. I don't know, maybe I'm being picky, but just a comment as to what you prefer or what makes more sense in your working life. But overall, the point of the Isuzu is you know what you're getting on the tin. And that counts to so many buyers. Check it out when you're in this market and check the competitors. Test drive all of them and you're going to know which one suits you best. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R. See you next time.